Hey everybody, it's time for another message from universe. They were pretty insistent today that there's a message today, so I wonder what's going to come out. All right, so we have, oh, your color. Your color is this green. I believe this came out last week too, didn't it? It's this green. I guess the same green. We're going to have to work with the sun again today as it moves across. And tomorrow is the first day of summer, the longest day of the year for us here. Yay! I'm so happy, so excited about it. We've been getting really, really good weather. Very excited. Okay, so first deck, Oracle of Mystical Moments. And then the second deck, Oracle of Shadows and Light. Move that up. Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Mediumship training deck. I believe some of you are either you're interested in psychic training, or you're actually going through psychic training of some sort, or you're developing your psychic skills. There's something coming up with me just looking at this deck that some of you are consciously doing it. I mean, we are all psychic. Everybody is psychic. Everybody's reading energy, okay? But some of you are actually doing it like on purpose, focusing on it. So and the message for you guys, the universe is saying, just keep going and keep raising your vibration, meditate, raise your vibration, and just enjoy the process of opening your channels. Okay. And then we have the tarot box, and then lastly but not leastly, we have notes from the universe on love and connection. There's a love message coming through from this deck, and maybe even the other decks too. There's going to be a love message coming through. Okay, so that's what we have to work with today. Okay. All right. Let me, my arm's not long enough. Let me grab this. There we go. And also, let me set my backup recording just in case for the audio. All right, let's start. Oracle of Mystical Moments. The energy feels pretty happy and high. You guys are feeling pretty good, huh? Feeling pretty good. Like maybe there's a little bit of focusing on problems, but it's not anything that you can't overcome or surpass or create over. You know, if you think of a issue or a problem or just a question as something that calls forth to you the solution, the answer, right? And you focus on it that way, then nothing is really like a problem that you can't solve, okay? And once you ease your mind and that kind of, you know how sometimes when you have a problem, you kind of feel this tightness in your gut. That's you asking for something. But once you release that tightness, you allow the answer in, okay? But you have to release that tightness first. You have to assume the answer is right there. You have to assume that the answer is right here for you. And in order to hear it, you have to release that stress, okay? Release that worry. And then nothing is really a problem because it's just all answers. All right. 2 cards from here. Sea Witch. Yes. There's a playfulness to that. House of Flowers. I love this card. There's a message coming through already with these 2 cards. In you being playful, like we were just talking about, like releasing stress, right? Releasing that tightness to allow your answers in for you. This talks about being more playful, being more unique, being more yourself, and allowing yourself to just be. There's also like a childlike quality in here where it's about playing, where it's about just going with the flow of where the fun takes you, right? And in that energy of allowing yourself to be yourself as uniquely as you are, you're going to blow up. You're going to bloom. Like all the answers are going to come, and it's going to be like answers to things that you've been asking about that you've kind of like forgotten about already because you just like, you asked this question so long ago. All the answers are coming. All of the solutions are coming. All of this is a manifestation and almost like I'm gonna say over manifestation, but it's not over because it's everything coming in, and by over, what I mean is like you're not even expecting that it would come because you asked for it so long ago that you kind of forgot about it, but it's coming now. That's what this is about. And it's going to be bigger than, you see how just like the comparison between these people and the house, and then like the giganticness of the flowers, right? It's going to be bigger than anybody could foresee. Say like you've been having a dream of some sort, you're asking for something and you really really want it, and say like maybe there are doubters, right, in your life, or people maybe they're not even doubting you, but they're just like people who are very practical, and they just think like, well, you can dream big, but normally people don't receive their big dreams. They just receive like whatever averagely people ask for, right? It's like whatever is the norm, that's what they expect, right? And they don't expect big things. But when your big dreams come true, they're going to be like, oh my goodness. And they're going to see, they're going to be overwhelmed with how much is coming in for you. They're going to be like, it's kind of like that, say if you're a musician of some sort, right? And you've been filming, YouTube videos in your bedroom and stuff like that. and just singing, singing for your channel, or singing maybe open mic, or just, creating your own songs, and the people around you, maybe they're like, well, who really makes it big in the music industry? Like they're thinking practical. They're thinking, the small things, that the average type of thing, that usually the average path that people take, right? And they're not thinking of those people who actually, there are people who make it big. There are people who become a huge success, right? So because they kind of just like not take your dream seriously, then they don't really see it coming. But then when it does come, then they're like, oh my God, you're an overnight success. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like nothing, and then something boom happens. And so it feels like an overnight success, but then there's this kind of buildup of energy of you being yourself, loving your own life, loving what you're doing, and being playful about it, having experiencing pleasure in the doing of it, and just following your own flow, and then it happens. Okay. There's that green light again. We talked about this in the last reading, about the green light, about the flow. So it's almost like if you look at the last reading, I don't remember everything that we talked about in the last reading, but I remembered there was like a green and a red, right? So kind of like green light, red light, like that. This time it's just green. There's no red light. Like the hesitation is gone. That stopping energy is gone. So this is really, really cool. All right, next one. There's, we talk about like something big coming in that you kind of forgot about, but there's also, underlying all of that, there's an expectation within you that, like there's something in you that always knew it was gonna happen. That's what I'm seeing. There's this like steadiness of energy inside you that you knew There's something in you that knew. Maybe there was some, doubts along the way, but in this energy right now that I'm looking at, there was something in you that stayed steady, that kept that dream alive, and that you knew. And then also, I'm seeing energy coming out of the windows of the house that it's going to benefit other people too. Like whatever this is that's blowing up for you, that energy of yours, it's emanating out of your manifestation, your success, whatever this may be. Like whatever it is that you're receiving, that answer that you're receiving, the solution and the manifestation, that, and also creativity, there's this energy that's coming out of it that's gonna touch other people, that is gonna benefit them too. And so even, say like these people, maybe some of them like didn't fully believe in your dream or whatever, they're still gonna benefit from whatever this is that's coming out of you, okay? And it's gonna uplift them. So if it's like a creative energy, that creative energy is going to rub off on them. And then they become more creative themselves too. I'm seeing with this fish and the little girl, the little sea witch, there's a loyalty energy here where there were some people that always stood by you. Maybe it's one person, you have like that one friend or that one partner or sister or brother or somebody always stuck by you and believed in you in your dream, and they're so happy for you. This is like it's almost like a team effort, even if it's like, maybe it is a team effort, maybe it's like you guys did it together, but I'm seeing it like it's your energy, but then because they're so supportive and so into you being successful, into you living your dream, that it feels like a team effort, that you guys did it together because they were like your moral support or something like that. That's really cool. Okay. A powerful energy shift, exactly. And then also the eclipse, like it having been dark and then the light's gonna come. Like, the eclipse is like, it's light and then something blocks it and then it moves away and then the light comes back. It's like that. It comes back stronger, just like this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's shift it so you can see that. That's too bright. Okay. Actually, let's move this over a little bit. There we go. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Sorry about that. I'm just adjusting the light. Okay. And then next one, I think it was this one. Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Yeah, the energy looks so good. There's a confidence. There's so much confidence in this card. For those of you who are still kind of in that darkness where something is blocking, and that but there's, with the eclipse, that blockage is going to move away. It's just a matter of time, right? That once it moves away, then that full burst of the sun is going to reveal itself again, stronger than before. And there's this confidence. Remember we were talking about like a steadiness that you always knew? There's that confidence in here where it's like, even when it's dark, the light is coming. That powerful shift is coming. And yeah, there's so much power, like strength, and a strength to this energy that I'm seeing right here. in this kind of dark phase where the light hasn't come yet, but you know it's coming. I'm seeing in the middle of this flower right here, there's creativity going on where it's like in the darkness before the light comes, there's still stuff going on inside you where you're generating ideas and you're working on stuff. It's not like you're sitting around waiting for it to happen. There's still stuff going on inside you where you're working on this, whatever this is, you're focusing on it more and more and more, and you're working on it more and more and more, despite not having like the results come out yet, or the feedback or anything like that. This is before the bloom. Before the bloom, I'm seeing like there's an energy within the flower in the middle of the rose. I think that's a rose. But in the middle of the flower, there's this energy where it's like within the darkness you're working on something. There's ideas generating, there's continual energy movement until the shift occurs, and then the darkness moves away and the light comes, and the bloom happens. There's continual activity going on. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing in there. Okay. Get the big picture view from above. There's one more. Okay. Watching clouds, lie back, rest, relax. What I'm getting from here, okay, view from above is being able to see the whole picture. So whether you're in this phase where it's still darkness and the light hasn't come yet, but you're expecting that powerful shift to happen, you're expecting the blooming to occur, right? And so you're playfully going along doing your thing, being able to see that whole thing, that you know it's going to happen, that whatever phase that you are at in this manifestation, that it's going to happen, that this bursting out of the energy, the creative energy bursting out of whatever this idea or this project or this whatever this is that you're creating, the manifestation happening, being able to see all of it happen like within your mind, and within, and just that knowing that we're talking about, that confidence, being able to see all of that, and this watching clouds, this kind of relaxed energy, I feel like you're not stressed about it. You're not stressed about it not happening. You're not stressed about okay, so way in the beginning before we got the cards, remember we were talking about if there's some kind of issue or some kind of problem energy or some kind of asking of a question where you're wanting a solution or an answer to it, you're relaxed in knowing that it's going to happen, that the solution is going to come, that the answer is there. And in relaxing and knowing the big picture of how the process of manifestation, where you just ask for it and it's there, and all you have to do is relax into receiving the answer, then it happens, then everything happens. And so this is just talking about that process of for those of you who are kind of in that phase and you're kind of waiting. So okay, there's a group of people watching this video, right? And so I'm reading for people that are in different phases of this manifestation process. Some of you might be at the beginning of it, where you're in that kind of I'm wanting to know something, I'm wanting a solution for something, and I'm in that problem phase. And remember, we're talking about like your gut feels a little tight because you're asking for something and you just don't know what to do. Some of you might be in that part of the manifestation. And so this is like explaining to you the manifestation process, where if you're there, your first step is to relax, understand the big picture of how things happen, and then go through this process of tuning into the fun, tuning into the flow of the energy, and allowing this thing to occur. Okay. And once you understand the process and you know the big picture, then the whole thing becomes this joyful, relaxed, calm process that you just, it's like you're going along for the ride. It's not even hard. Like the effort that you're putting into it is really just relaxing yourself. The effort that you're putting into it is in understanding how the manifestations occur. Okay. And then like being inspired to the action, following that flow, and continue to work. And by work not necessarily effort like straining or struggling or anything like that, but just believing in it, believing in the flow, continuing to receive the creative ideas, continuing to receive the next inspired action, and then following it, even though there's no evidence that this is happening, but you know it inside you that this is going to happen, and then it happens. Okay. Yeah. All right. Next one, mediumship training deck. Oh, so applying this to those of you who are going through psychic development that we talked about earlier. So if some of you are like trying to open your channels and you're trying too hard, and maybe you know, it's like, oh, I really want to be able to connect with spirit. I really want to be able to experience enlightenment. I really want to be able to open my clairvoyance and see, you know, energy and stuff like that. Maybe if, you know, applying this message to that perhaps you're trying too hard. And universe is saying, relax into it. Understand that you asked for it. You're already, and, you know, understand, get the big picture. Everybody is psychic. Everybody has these abilities. All you have to do is to relax into accessing those abilities. Okay. And understand that if you understand that everybody is, including yourself, you know, so then you can erase the doubts that you're not, like, everybody's psychic except me. How could that be, right? If everybody's psychic, then everybody's psychic. Everybody has the ability to read energy. Okay. And it's like, and have fun in it. Have fun in the process. Understand that even though maybe right now your third eye, you're not really able to see anything yet, but understand that once the shift in your energy occurs, then you're gonna be able to experience a lot, and it's almost gonna be like overwhelming you when those channels open. Like, I remember when I first opened my channels, like, I was hearing stuff, you know, in the middle of the night, and all sorts of stuff. I was having these wild, crazy dreams, and yeah, so and you might even get overwhelmed with too much energy stimulation occurring. Go, oh my gosh. And then, you know, if that happens and it's overwhelming for you, you can always ask spirit to slow it down, to calm it down. Okay. I remember one time I woke up in the middle of the night and I was hearing this metallic grinding sound in my head, and I know that it was psychic energy. It wasn't an outside noise. It was in my head. And what was happening is that I opened my channel wide to receive, because I wanted it so bad. I wanted to be able to hear spirit. I wanted to be able to, you know, just enlightenment was like my goal, you know. Like, I was really wanting it really bad. I mean, not bad, but like I really wanted it a lot. And so I was like opening my channels, but I also still had a lot of, like, my energy vibration wasn't as high in enough in order to be able to receive messages clearly, right? And so what happens is, like, if you still have kind of this energy disturbance or disharmony within you, or some kind of resistance, like say you really want to be able to see spirit, but you're afraid to see spirit, like you're scared, that if you do see something, you're gonna freak out, right? Then you have resistance inside you because you want something, but then you're also pushing it away, right? And so there was some of that inside me where there was some kind of resistance in me. And so the energy was coming through, I was perceiving it, but because I had resistance in it, then it came through as like this kind of grinding metal kind of noise. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and it was so loud, right, in my head. And and I knew it was coming from my spirit. So I was just like, okay, can you kind of quiet it down, because it's really loud in here. So they turned it down, and I'm like, oh, okay, that feels better. But when it first happened, like that noise, I was like, what is this? What is this? And I heard a little voice. I heard my own voice inside my head going, it's me. So that's how I knew it was my spirit. And then I was like, oh, it's me, it's like the big me talking to me, the human. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. But there's also, along with that, there was also a lot of static, a lot of other energy that in me opening opening the floodgates for all the energy to come through, because I wasn't at that frequency that could make it clearly come through. Then I was hearing a lot of extra noise. So I hope that makes sense. And so I just asked them, I was like, okay, let's turn down the volume, turn down. So they did. They turned down the volume, and it felt so much better. But yeah, so if that's happening to you, you can just ask, if you're talking to your spirit guides or to your spirit, just if it's too much, ask them to just turn down the volume. All right, let's see what comes out of this mediumship training deck. Yeah, those were fun times, though. I mean, sometimes it was too much, but once I got used to it, once I really developed the big picture and I relaxed into it, then now it's always pleasurable to connect with spirit, because it comes. I'm not asking for it too hard. I'm not trying too hard. I'm just letting it in when it comes in. And so say I have a question. So say like doing these readings and stuff like that. Say I have a question, and if I'm too much in the problem of it, where something's really bothering me, and I try to do a reading for myself, the cards come out, I might not understand what the cards are saying. Like, they don't speak to me. Like right now, I'm relaxed. I'm doing a reading for you guys, right? It's for all of us, so myself included. And I draw these cards. When the cards come out, automatically I can feel the energy coming through, and I hear the messages coming through, and then certain parts of the pictures like pop out, and that's how I read the cards, is I read the energy off of it. And that flow happens real easy because I'm having fun, so all this stuff is coming out. And but if I'm stressed out about it, and my gut is tight with I need to know the answer to this question that I have, and I draw cards, the card could come out and I'll be like, I have no idea what it's saying, even though there's words on it and stuff, but I won't connect with the message. You know what I mean? So it's like, once you get the big picture of how it all works and that you have to relax into it, then all the messages come through real easy. And sometimes the energy comes through in some readings where the energy is moving fast and I'm receiving really fast. Then I end up like talking really fast because I'm trying to get the messages out, get the words out before I forget them. Or not really before I forget them, but it's like turning the water faucet on really high and all this water is rushing through. That's what it feels like when I'm channeling the energy sometimes, and the words are coming through me from them. But it's really fun. Like that whole process, if you relax into it and then you turn on the water, like the metaphorical water, turn it on more and more, that as it's flowing out, it's just this real high energy ride that you just ride through. And that's how these readings feel like for me. And if we're not talking about a reading for you, and it's talking about some kind of energy coming through where you're creating where you're developing some other kind of talent, right? It's like say you're a tennis player or something like that, and you're developing a talent, and there's a shift in your skill all of a sudden, that you're understanding where to move your body, how fast to move, how to pivot and to get the ball or whatever, how hard to hit it. Like there's this flow that you connect to and you're having fun with it, then you just get better and better and better at your game. Okay. So apply it to your situation, whatever it is that you're working on. Okay. Whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest in your life. But that process, it all works the same thing, whatever you're applying it to. Okay. The invisible shield. There are a couple of things that I'm getting from here. Let's see what it says in the back. Have you ever experienced feeling the presence of a loved one who had passed, or had a thought of them suddenly come into your mind? Even though they're in the spiritual realm, their spirit body has an aura which lovingly reaches out to yours. Every living thing has an aura, whether they're here in the physical world or on the other side. It's the energy field that surrounds all matter. Whether you're developing psychically or mediumistically, learning about the aura is an important part of the training. Both psychic and mediumistic emanations are received and transmitted through the aura, which in turn can access the specific chakras that are associated with your clairsentience, clairvoyance, and clairaudience. So that's clear feeling, clear seeing, and clear hearing. Okay. You can learn to expand your aura for all manner of reasons, whether you're about to do a psychic reading, you're going to a concert and want to feel and experience the richness of the music, or even if you're outdoors and just want to heighten the whole experience with nature. As we're all made up of energy, you can blend your aura with another person's, a plant's, your trusted pets, or of course a spirit's aura. Make sure you pull back your auric field when you're done working, as it will make you less sensitive and enable your aura to revitalize. Learning everything about the aura will not only make you a stronger medium, but also a healthier one. Okay, so take a look at this for yourself. See if any of these messages in here apply to you, okay, if it makes sense for wherever you are on your psychic journey. What I was actually seeing in the picture in the front about this shield, what I'm seeing is like these feathers are messages that are coming through, and this your auric shield, right, your invisible shield, those messages are all around you at all times. And depending on whether you're a match to them or not, you may or may not receive the messages that are coming through. Okay. So, remember we were talking about like how you could be asking for answers. So these could be your answers. And then your shield, if you're in that kind of worried state, or like efforting too hard, trying too hard to receive, you might actually put up a shield around yourself where the answers are all around you, but you're not able to penetrate that shield to be able to receive it because you're trying too hard, or that your energy is just at a different frequency as the answer. So in relaxing into it and being playful about it, raising your vibration to match the energy of the messages, of the feathers, right, of the answers, then that shield kind of falls away and then you receive your answer. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in this picture, okay? And then within my story that I was telling, how I was asking to connect with spirit, and And I opened the channel, however, I still had resistance, and so I was hearing noise instead of hearing very clearly just their message to me. I was hearing a lot of noise. So that in a way is kind of like this shield that I put up, where it's like I'm matching the energy of that, I want to say like dirt, or like that extra noise, or like just is not clarity. Okay, you have to be in clarity in order to receive clarity. If you're not in clarity, then you receive all this other junk. There's just stuff that you have to like filter through in order to get to your answer, if your own energy is not in the high vibration that it needs to be in order to receive clearly. Okay, so I hope that explanation makes sense. All right, last one. There's something coming through about this shield that correlates to this part about you can blend your aura with another person's plants, like whatever it is. It means the same thing as matching your frequency to another thing. So it's exactly what I said about like raising your vibration to match the energy of the answer. The wording that they're using is blend your aura with another thing, right? So you can do this with people, right? And you can do it with other living beings, or spirit aura. By living, all I mean is like a consciousness. Okay, not necessarily like physically living, because spirit aura is like non-physical. What was I thinking? There was something coming through about you can choose who or what you match your aura to. So there's a really specific message coming through for somebody that I think, okay, somebody's been asking this question, okay? Somebody watching this reading has been asking this question about connecting. I believe it's connecting with people or connecting with animals or something like that, where your spirit wants you to know you can choose who you want to connect with, whether it's other animal or human. You can choose who you want to connect to, and all you need to do is focus on it. Focus on either, if there's somebody in your life that you want to connect with more, focus on their energy matching with that, and then the people that you want to connect with less, like you can be more selective. Basically that's what they're saying. You can be like, out of a whole group of people that you're with, you can be more selective about who you match with more and who you match with less. Okay, and you can do that with like other animals too. So that's a specific message that's coming through for somebody. Okay. Okay, last one. You were born with that it quality. I love this. Do you want to know what's really beautiful? Confidence. We're talking about confidence right here. Do you want to know what's really powerful? Persistence. And we also talked about persistence, like to keep going, right? Even in the dark, keep going, because the flowers are going to bloom, the light's going to come. Do you want to know what's really sexy? Please, I know about sexy. Not needing to be needed. And if still they, whoever they are, Don't notice your good looks, your strength, and your sachet. Could you feel more sorry for them? Tally ho the universe. So I kind of feel like this they who's not noticing your good stuff might be these little people. Remember we were talking about there might be some people who either doubt you or who don't see the superstardom that you're headed for. Just because, not because they're, you know, bad people or anything, but just because they're used to the average, you know. They're not looking at the big dreams and they don't see that your big dream is coming true. I feel like this is talking about that. And so this is talking about, like, don't worry about them. They don't know. They don't know your dream. You be persistent. You be confident. You be sexy, okay, for yourself. And just know that this is happening for you. Understand the entire process of how this all works, how life is, you know, how you create life, how you manifest all of life. Understand all of that. Because you have that it quality. It's coming. And just relax into it. Trust yourself. Know that it's happening. All right. And that's how you do it. Green light. All right, you guys. All right. I totally forgot. I was watching through the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, we totally missed the tarot box and the love message. Okay. Let's insert this in. And we're going to do it right now for those of you who are waiting for that love message. All right. Queen of Pentacles. Judgment. The Star. Okay, let's get another card from that deck. There's this energy of somebody who's like kind of really prim and proper and kind of almost, I'm going to say rigid, but I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm going to say it's like you just kind of, you follow the rules, you're more the kind who doesn't go really wild and crazy too much. You just kind of, your energy's quieter, okay? More steady. There's a calling for you to break out of that and do something wild and crazy, or just do something out of character for you. And you'll notice this person is like fully dressed, and then there's all these naked people. There's a calling inside you that's calling you to break free from, so say you go through like a routine every day of, at this time I do this thing, and at this time I do this thing, and this is what I eat every day, or, you know, I always prepare my food ahead of time. And there's some calling for you to break free from that type of living, that type of energy, and to do something that's out of character, to do something that's different, to you know, like, quote, take off your clothes, right? Not necessarily that you have to physically take off your clothes, but either dress in a different way, to do something that's out of your comfort zone, maybe, right? Or to do something, because there's a streak in you, there's a wild creative energy inside you that's like this little sea witch here, that maybe either society has put on you that you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way, behave a certain way, either that, or that you put it on yourself, that you have to be a certain way, or that maybe you grew up with your, you know, the people around you saying that you have to behave a certain way, or you have to think a certain way. And this is the calling for you to break free from all of that. And the Judgment card is also like a rebirth of some sort, right? So it's interesting, you know, when you're born naked, right? So there's this kind of like rebirthing, a new energy coming through, an inner calling inside you that's saying to break free of the routine, break free of the old cycle and come into this new cycle where you're like, you become this new person. That's the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles talk about more earthly, material type things, right? And the star is reaching into the heavens, is a connection between the earth, like she's both in the land and in the water, right? Reaching both from the earth into the heavens, from the physical into the non-physical, and being a connection between the two. So applying this message to, like we were talking about psychic development, for those of you who have only been seeing things through the physical senses, on the physical realm, this is a calling for you to connect with your emotions, connect with your psychic channels, connect with your spiritual self, the spiritual realm, connect with your spirit, connect with the stars. And in doing so, when you free yourself from the confines of like pure just physical living and actually become more of a spiritual being on the physical realm, living through the physical body, that there's this kind of, we were talking about the uniqueness of the Sea Witch, right? There's this kind of blooming that happens, that like all of these other cards play into this too, where there's this energy shift that happens within you where you become more you, where you become more of your spirit self. And in doing so, when you become more you, applying it to that love message that was coming through, like once you become this person with that it quality, there's something charm about you, there's something about you that makes you different, there's something about you that makes you sexy, right? When you become your true self, all manners of love will come through to you, come through for you. So say if you haven't been receiving many date offers, or you haven't been connecting with too many people, it's gonna happen once you go through this process and become the star and become the you with that equality, the true you with that uniqueness of yourself. And you don't care so much about what other people think about how you should act, how you should do this, how you should do that, and you just go with your own flow. All sorts of people are going to become attracted to you because you have that it quality, that kind of, what's that special thing, that special spark in you, you know? And people will notice it. The right people will come. And so I feel like there's this calling for those of you who are seeking love in that way, seeking romantic love, seeking connection with other people, that it's really just about you becoming more yourself and letting go of the rigidness or like any kind of confines, anything you're limiting yourself to, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of being. Free yourself and your energy is going to pop. And that shield that you've been putting up around yourself, let it down. Okay? And it'll be a green light for the right people to come into your life. Okay. Exactly. Yeehaw. The ride of your life. When it comes to choosing who will be in your life, I recommend valuing their yeehaw quality above all others. Have it your way. Special orders don't upset us. The universe. Oh, remember we're saying right here, being selective, you can choose who you want to connect with. Special order. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye again because I said it earlier when there was still that love message that I hadn't pulled through yet. But here we are. That's it. The love message. Okay. Bye. Thank you for watching. See you next time.